Here we are at Spring Lake, and the birds are in the trees and flying in the water. Life is beautiful. Aloha, this is Kaypacha with the weekly Pele report, and this one is for December 6th. Sorry, day late. It's Thursday. December 6th of 2012. I'm in Northern California here. It's not quite the outside wilderness or anything. Gotta wear a jacket and everything. I am giving some workshops, one up in Mount Shasta in January, second week, and then I'm doing another one in Auburn by Nevada City, Northern California. If you're around that area, it would be great to see you. But let's look at what's going on today. And this week, it's very, lots of things going on here. I talked last week, and I think in the week before, with this whole eclipse season that we're really between this eclipse season that was going on in late November, and there's the finger of God, the yod that I talked about last week, okay, is still in effect, and it's going to be in effect until December 21st and 22nd and 23rd, and even a little bit beyond that. And this is this Jupiter Lilith in aspect to Saturn in Scorpio and Pluto over there in Capricorn, creating this yod. And we just have a host of characters passing through Sagittarius, opposite Jupiter last week, the Sun. Okay, then we're going to have Mercury come by that same 8-degree point. Then we're going to have Venus come by that same 8-degree point. And the Moon is coming by that same 8-degree point next week. So we're going to, I want to talk about this yod because it's in effect for a good solid month from, November 21st, I'd say, November 23rd to December 21st, 23rd, all through Christmas. And it's, it's really powerful. The finger of God, it's like the finger of fate, I think, is another calling for it. But let's just really look at what this is about. This could be a long report, and there's just so much to say. Okay. Let's begin with this Pluto square Uranus. They were conjunct in the 60s in Virgo. Now we're coming around to the Pluto square. It's been in effect this whole year, and it's going to be in effect for the next 2 years till the end of 2014. And this is Uranus breaking free, breaking out from the grip of Pluto. And that Uranus is around now in the sign of Aries. Individualization, self-realization, liberation, and freedom of the self, of the individual, Aries, of my instincts and my impulses. But Pluto is up there in Capricorn going, ho, 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 now just a minute, youngster. And then his cohort, Saturn, is over there in Scorpio going, you've got some karma to clear. This is karma clearing time. We are closing up. We're finishing the 4th world. We're about to enter the 5th world. We're closing the Mayan calendar. This is a huge turning point. And that huge turning point is a closure of one cycle, the beginning of a whole new cycle. A 26,000-year cycle, if you want to get into the really big cycles that are going on now. And when it comes to closure, it comes to karma. It comes to what goes around comes around. And it goes around, if you want to move on, you need to release and free and let yourself go from the blocks, the balls and chains, the stuff from the past. So let's look at what it takes to move on, what these laws of karma have to do with, and really deepen it a little bit. The other thing that's going on this weekend then, of course, is that Mercury is coming by to conjoin with the Moon's nodes. Yes, for the 3rd time. And it came by October 25th. Mercury conjunct the North Node in Scorpio. Thinking, thoughts, Mercury, messenger of the gods. North Node of the Moon, a new destiny, my future path. In Scorpio, a desire to merge, to unite with something bigger, greater beyond me, but conflicting and needing to let go of old stuff that's in the way of that future path. October 25th. Mercury, left brain, thinking, choices, navigating, analyzing, figuring it all out, goes retrograde November 17th. It hits that North Node again. So again, steps being made, choices, decisions, ideas coming in, coming through, conversations, with very powerful conversations. Mercury and Scorpio about very deep issues. And now, poof, done, over, fait accompli. It's going over that North Node for the third and final time now that it's gonna move on. So a new future may have, is in the forming, it's in the creating. And when we look at this new future and this new forming, it's basically deepening some relationships, letting go of other relationships. We've got this Venus in Scorpio, we've got Saturn in Scorpio, this North Node in Scorpio. So we want to look at what's involved, because this Uranus in Aries is calling us forward. And I just want to, I just had the image for this report, of the bird. The bird has no choice but to sing its song. If you are a robin or a cardinal or whatever kind of bird you are, you have a certain song. And each one of us has a certain song. And this Uranus in Aries wants us to sing that song, to be our true, essential, unique core self. And in order to do that, we need to free ourselves from everything that we are not, from all of the illusions, from all of the belief systems, from all of the conditioning and everything else that we're in. How we do that is what is important, because that is what either makes more karma and ties us in, or actually does serve to liberate us and free us. And here I have to just go back into a little bit of this family constellation work. Bert Hellinger spent time with the Zulus down there in Africa, and we're looking at now Sagittarius. Sagittarius is the midpoint of that Saturn-Pluto in Scorpio-Capricorn. It's opposite Jupiter. It is this point that everything is passing through. Natural law. And that natural law has to do with philosophy, it has to do with religion. It has to do with belief systems. How we give meaning to our experience, how we piece it all together. And this is what's really important now. And we really want to look at what we believe, because this is how we make our choices, how we make our decisions. And they're intense, they're heavy, they're big. So back to the Zulus. I'm just going to say that there are orders of love, there are laws of karma, however you want to call it. And these laws transcend. They're above what we believe. Whether we're Christian or Muslim or Jewish or atheist, not believing anything, there are laws governing the flow of energy, the course of life on this planet. Gaia is, has her ways with us, as Lilith will remind us in Gemini with Jupiter. Anyway, I just want to deal with one of these laws that the Zulus deal with, and that is inclusion. There's a whole bunch of them, but today I just want to talk about inclusion. Because Saturn is separation. Saturn is, in your natal birth chart, by house, sign, and aspect, Saturn is where you shut the door. You excluded someone, something, some truth, some love. You're out of alignment. This is Saturn, the Lord of Karma. He's now going through Scorpio. It's a time to shut the door. It's time to separate and not create karma. Or it's time to commit and go deeper into something, but that in itself is excluding something else. So we're opening doors and shutting doors now, and the way that we open these doors and shut these doors is what makes or breaks the karmic flow, which has to do with our success, with our joy, not only our own, but our children and the future generations, how we do that. So the Zulus, back to the Zulus, they don't exclude anybody. If somebody murders a member of your family, they have the murderer come to dinner with the family so that they can include. You know, if an uncle is a bad drunk or a violent, abuser, they don't exclude him out of the family, out of the tribe. They bring him in. Someone dies tragically. If there's an abortion, we don't exclude, ignore. There's a place for everyone in the system, in the constellation. And we can expand this to be the human family. We can expand this to all of our relationships. And we have partners and ex-partners. And they're doing studies now, and this is like the research, and it's verified, and I've seen this, live in action. Okay, that, when there's anger against a previous partner, anger is an exclusion. This partner is excluded from my reality. The next relationship doesn't go along so easily or so well. So we want to just look at exclusion. We want and then we want to look at, now we've got, so these are, let's look at the law. This is just like a law. Okay, that when you exclude someone, there is going to be painful negative results, if not in your own life and relationships, in those of your children. So just take that as a law. There's a whole bunch of them, but this is just one for today. This is Pluto in Capricorn, the law. Saturn in Scorpio is like wanting to break, let go of the old, commit to the new. North Node in Scorpio, Mercury on it today and tomorrow and the next day. That's why I'm talking about it. but the idea here is that Jupiter down here in Gemini with Black Moon Lilith, okay, is our left brain, and Jupiter going through there can come up with all kinds of reasons. Oh, they did this. Oh, they did that. Oh, they were bad. Oh, they hurt this. It was abuse. I'm this. This person, da, 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 da. There's all kinds of, our mind, our ego comes up with all kinds of ideas to justify our actions and to justify our choices. But it doesn't matter what these are. And here we have this Jupiter opposite this point in Sagittarius, which is the focal point of this yod. And this is a time where it's time for us to look at our beliefs. And, oh, I believe this. And it's just like, okay, so you may break off, or you may, stay in a relationship because you're Catholic, and a divorce, you're going to go to hell if you get divorced or something. You may stay in a relationship or break off a relationship because you're Hindu and you have this belief, and or you may do these other Jewish, all these different belief systems that guide our choices. Really, at some point, there's a lot of judgment that comes out of all of these belief systems about all of our philosophies, about all of our religions. And you may make your choices and say, well, this person, hurt me and they're abusive and I'm going to step out of that situation. fine. What I'm saying is that aside from the judgment, there can still be an honoring. There can still be a grieving. There can still be a sorrow and a sadness, acknowledging that everybody in our reality, everybody in our life brings us something and gives us something. And if we stay in that place of gratitude, even though we make breaks, this is particularly true with our parents. And the other thing I wanted to bring is forgiveness. Forgiveness is that there was something wrong. I was wronged. This is wrong. That person is bad. So I'm going to forgive them. And it actually kind of puffs us up. We get to feel our pride and feel bigger than that other person that we're forgiving. This is not the way the Zulus go about it. This is not the way we're seeing these laws of energy happening. It's not about forgiving somebody because they were wrong. So we just look at, this is time. From now till the 21st, we look at our beliefs, and we can change these beliefs. I used to believe this was wrong and that was right, and now I'm switching it. Try it out. Try checking out a new belief. Oh, hopefully the new belief is about inclusion versus exclusion. Anyway, so these are just some ideas, some thoughts that, are coming up for this week with this Mercury conjoining that North Node in Scorpio, people making big breaks and choices and changes. And then it's moving into Sagittarius next week. I think it's Monday or something. Mercury goes into Sag. It's going to be there a month. Venus is going to be catching up. It's going to be getting out of Scorpio. Whew. Things are going to lighten up a little bit. It's been, pretty intense here for a lot of people. It's a big time of change, but let's look at the mantra for this week, and we are there. And it goes something like this. I have reasons, judgments, and doubts for my stepping in and my stepping out. But the more conscious I am, the more I see. There are laws governing life that transcend my beliefs. Let's try that again. A lot I could say about that, but I already did. So, I have reasons, judgments, and doubts for my stepping in and my stepping out. But the more conscious I am, the more I see. There are laws governing life that transcend what I believe. So, whatever you believe, whatever you're judging, the important thing is acceptance. That life is bringing you, surrendering to life, accepting what life brings you, and being thankful for it. And you can move on, and you can let go, and you can do your Uranus and Aries and be free. Just don't leave a trail of anger and exclusion and resentment behind you. I think that's like the major point for this yad going on. So, namaste, aloha, so much love, enjoy. See you later.